Yeah, for sure. Now, again, he opened things up very aggressively in that opening, and then he didn't react to the dynamics in the proper way. And if you do that, things will go wrong. And we see some stuff going on in the back there. Hopefully everything's all right. A semi-Slav defense is what this is called. I wonder which line Firouzja will choose. There are so many. Okay, he also goes for a G3 setup.
Yeah, this is interesting. This is akin to a Catalan, of course, but black really can grab a pawn on c4 maybe a couple of moves ago, and it was a pure sacrifice. You were not winning that pawn back anytime soon. But of course, theoretical, and now Magnus goes for a temporary pawn sacrifice of his own. This is also well known. If white grabs twice on b5, the black queen is going to come out with a hit on the white knight and a hit on the d4 pawn. So Alireza, will he just trade off now, or will he push forward? He tried to do that as much as he could yesterday against Hikaru. Magnus, though, I wonder why he's shaking his head. He played very well in the last game.
God, who knows? You know what I'm saying? 98% accuracy win, 33-36 on chess.com, but still not happy. You know what I'm saying? He's probably maybe thinking about he had a bad golf day today. I don't know. But what I love about this is that Alireza deliberately goes for a little bit of a sideline in this type of system, and Magnus just immediately has the answer. This is really the problem. You kind of have to play your best openings against him, especially in a longer time control.
Yeah, and this is what I meant about the Queen's Gambit decline. There's so many ways black can play it. Here he transposed back into the semi-Slav. Magnus loves the fianchetto structures himself from the white side. So of course he knows some tricks from the black side too. And remember, knight takes pawn, queen b6, everyone at home. It's not a full pawn sacrifice. Black will win it back. And yeah, time advantage has grown. Alireza does not look happy.
No, he's just sort of improvising. Goes for e4 straight away. He will have an isolated pawn. Magnus doesn't quite believe it. You can sort of see from the facial expression there. Overall, I actually think black is much happier from this opening.
This is not the best Catalan-esque type of position you'll ever see, with the white bishop neutralized on g2. And Magnus now, a very typical idea would be to blockade the isolated pawn. Looks quite healthy. We saw one in the previous game where Alireza sacrificed but got some attacking chances early. This is far from that.
This does feel like the last match. When Alireza starts freestyling the positions a little bit, maybe the rook is going to come to the middle. Okay, the knight drops back. But at this point, it just looks like white is going to try to trade the center pawn.
Yeah.
He can't quite do that.
d5, not going to be easy to achieve. Black would have stepped back the queen onto this diagonal, hence why white decides to block the light squares. Maybe it is coming, though. How to stop it now? It would attack the black queen.
Yeah, he doesn't like it. You can sort of tell there from the reaction. I still can't. He looks like he just hunted, you know, wild crocodile somewhere. Like he looks like he walks barefoot in a jungle somewhere. You know, like those channels that pick up snakes from water. It just looks like what he got done finished doing. And clearly, he didn't like something about queen f3. He doesn't like the fact that d5 is coming, as you said, and he doesn't have enough time now. He can't get the blockade in the center. So, yeah, that's not really what he wanted to play.
No, and advantage gone if there was one for Magnus. He's actually going back in the position, Levy. Look at that. He's going back, thinking, how could I have chosen a better move order?
Yeah, you're allowed to, by the way, go back in your own game. You know, that's fine. You can click back. Except when Magnus does it, it's a small positional error. For the rest of us, it's usually more dire. d5 now is basically forced. It is not stoppable. White controls that with the knight, the queen, and the rook. And actually, when that whole trade goes down, well, white has no problems, but I cannot really claim that he has any advantage, although in the long run, his bishop does target a pawn that black's bishop does not counter on the opposite side.
Yeah, and white will have the better centralization, control of the d-file maybe, or centralized queen. Of course, objectively should be level, but maybe a little something. I think Magnus, the fact he's living the past, regretting his choices, strategically a problem, but also psychologically. There we go. Black would love to, for example, get the queens off the board, but as you said, Levy, a7 is hanging in a lot of these lines, so not full equality yet.
Plus, if Magnus was white here, we would be super hyped.
Exactly.
It's important not to have too many double standards. It's just not really a Firouzja position, but how does Magnus defend a slightly unpleasant endgame, which is where we are? Bishop goes to f6 is a great move. Now, white either has to be passive or... That was nice. That was a rook sacrifice for a back rank checkmate. Magnus just blew right past it. And now Firouzja maybe pushing the b pawn.
Yeah, somewhere. b3, b4. I quite like it, though. I mean, this pawn is hard to defend, and the white queen, if it moves to a6, the white queen is going to swoop in, try to hit some pawns there. For now, black is also counterattacking against b2. Oh, he needs to be so accurate now, Firouzja, if he wants to keep this game going. Otherwise, it's going to fizzle out very quickly to a draw.
And we'll be seeing just in how much of a fighting spirit and endgame mood he is. b3. Okay, he goes for a4.
And wow, draw by agreement. He doesn't even try to push there, Alireza. He had time, Levy. The computer actually says that b4 instead of b3, and white had a big advantage.